Yo, welcome to Sparring Minds. I am
Mm.
Charles Jones, aka Charlie Hustle.
Hi, Tower here.
It's Sam Little, Mr. Maritime.
It's the chef, Mr. Main Topic.
Today is going to be the first of many of what you see for what's called exclusive content with Sparring Minds here. And these episodes, we're not posted anywhere else. It's just for you, the fans here on YouTube. You've taken the time to give us a like. You've taken the time to subscribe to our page. You've taken the time to follow us. So that shows that you're dedicated. We're trying to give you a gift back. So you're getting some exclusive content that's only for you. Today we got one lined up with the fellas. We've been talking a little bit about this Boosie badass situation. Ant's going to give us some details, going to give us the meat of the conversation, and then we're going to delve into it. These episodes are never going to be, 45 minutes. It's normally going to be about 10, 15, 20 minutes, with us focusing on a specific topic. I know some of our other episodes, you see a lot of music, a lot of conversation. We're going to keep these real narrow so we can focus on a specific topic. So with that said, Ant, go ahead and bless us with the topic for today, brother.
Sure.
So, for those who don't know, recently, Boosie, or Boosie Badass, as he likes to be called, he recently took the Instagram Live to discuss how he's been allowing his sons to, how do you say it, become men, I guess. Direct quote here is, I'm training these boys right. Ask any of my nephews, ask my son. When they was 12, 13, they got head. He said, yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. They got, what do you say? Hell yeah, I got my fucking son dick sucked. Yeah, grown woman, super grown. Checked them out. Checked out my nephews too. And she checking me out. He said, I'm getting them prepared. I paraphrase some of that, but I think with that, you get the gist of what he's done, what he's trying to do,
Yeah.
who he's trying to enlist to help him get this done, to get this thing done. I don't agree, but I'm not going to start it off. So, Chuck, you want to lead it? Man, you want to lead it? Who want to jump in here first?
Let's go, Sammy, go first. Lead us in, and then we can go from there. How's that?
Leading you in.
Yeah.
I'm not with it. Like, yeah, I do want to, teach my children, life experiences. But, at certain stages of their life, in this instance, he has a grown woman topping off his 12-year-old son. I'm pretty sure he's paying this chick. So it's kind of like a prostitution thing, ain't it? That's how I'm looking at it, because what grown lady's actually doing this for free? The way I look at it, it's a no-go for me. I understand that my child, our children are going to do things. They're going to do things on their own without us being around on the sneak. It's just, I'll just have to deal with it then. But me sitting here, grooming my son at 12 years old to do these things, that's gonna open up a whole nother can of worms. It's real dangerous in my eyes. That's just how it is. It's just real dangerous. That's how I look at it. Man, what you figure? How you feeling?
So I guess the manner in which he's putting it out there, I guess will probably be like the real thing. Because I don't really like to judge people on their parenting and how they are. You know what I mean? When you put stuff out there, it makes it. You know what I'm saying? You open yourself up to criticism of that type of stuff. The double standards here in this situation, and I guess speaking from a father that has a daughter, you know what I mean? Like, I would never condone that type of stuff, because I wouldn't set my daughter up for that type. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not helping out with that part of your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, from a girl. But I guess from a father's standpoint, it's different, right? Again, I'm kind of playing devil's advocate a little bit. So I guess in his eyes, he's looking at it like, well, at least I know where, and I guess, and I think Jones are probably going to allude to this too, where is that I'm at least put my son in a situation where he is protected. I know the environment he's in. I know what's going on. He's getting guidance along the way. You know what I mean? It's kind of, you know, again, two ways, because then some people come in like, well, you know, you're opening this young man up to what will be called I guess rape or something like that, you know, statutory, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Right? But again, it's just the double standard that it is for men and women and how that's kind of looked at. Because just a quick example, when I was coming up, you know what I mean? My pops was he was okay with that part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, had I been a girl, it might have been different. But the fact that he knew where I was and what I was doing, and I'm probably putting my dad out there, whatever the case may be, but I didn't turn out too bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, but time was not. The difference is that he's not on Instagram making a live video about it, talking about it for everyone in the world to know. You know what I'm saying? Man,
I
like
think it was a little bit different
on it because I understand what he's trying to say. I guess the delivery might not be the best way to do it. You know what I mean? And then what you could be creating along the line. But if he's giving his son guidance throughout all of this, then it's tough to really knock him as far as a parent. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, I guess putting it out there will be the worst stuff, or worst part about it. But you know what I mean? Like I said, you know, that type of stuff when you're a young man, that it happens. You know what I mean? And again, it's the roughest part again as a father or a daughter is that, hey, well, how would you feel? Well, you're right. I wouldn't feel the same way. You know what I'm saying? So it's tough. It's different sets of rules, unfortunately, in society that we grow up by, live by, with men and women. You know what I mean? It's different. So you can't always apply the two. I may get killed for it, but whatever the case may be. Height was good.
Listen, I'm not even going to dance around it, man. I'm not going to play double standard, none of that shit, man. This is rape. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Kids are 12, 13 years old with grown adults. It's rape, period. I don't like it.
Yep.
It's nasty, it's dirty. And if I was a fan of him and his music, I wouldn't be a fan of his music anymore after this. It's nasty.
Wow.
It's nasty. It's nasty, man. Like, listen, we could this discussion can go on for days, hours, weeks. Like, this was one of those layered joints. And I'm not gonna get into particulars, man. What he did was just dirty. I get what he was trying to do, but I can't justify that he was even considering doing that, period.
Okay. So you're exactly right. There are multiple layers to this conversation, right? So let's try to touch on a couple of them. And I know the four of us, we grew up in the 90s, right? And we grew up in an environment where it was a rite of passage if you was fucking, right? Now, however old you may have been, anywhere between 12 and 18, when you finally got sex, it was something to talk about amongst your friends, or something to talk about amongst your peers. It was a big deal. It was a star on your shoulder. It was all that. It was your uncles like, oh yeah, you finally good job. It was that. It was your pops like, yeah, okay, I see you, right? So I don't want to get too far away from that, because Boosie was probably brought up with the same kind of mindset where it was a good thing for a young man to experience sex, right? That was just kind of the bridge that we all crossed, and we got the trophies for doing so, right? I want to be tentative on how I talk about this, but I totally believe in double standards, and this is going to be one of those. And I recognize that you guys are fathers of daughters, right? I'm the fathers of two sons. You see what I'm saying? And so I think the way we look at this is going to be a little bit differently, but I want to be cognizant of that. So it might be sensitive on how we look at that. So the first question I want to get off the top of this level is, are you more upset, and I'll start with you, Samuel, we'll wrap back around. Are you more upset that Boosie has brought in an adult to have sex with his son, as compared to Boosie telling his 14-year-old son to have sex with another 14-year-old?
I'm more upset with the fact that, you know, he's actually having someone have sex with his son that early. Like, I see what he's trying to do. And, you know, with us, you know, our pops, yeah, they were happy. Not that we were having sex. They were happy that we were dealing with girls.
Right.
And like, so I see what Boosie's trying to do. He's trying to groom his sons to deal with girls, because Boosie's against a lot of other shit. Like, I mean, he's, you know, D-Wade and his son.
Yeah.
So I see what he's doing. That's basically what he's doing. It's not, you know, he's not doing this for any other reason. He just wants to make sure his sons are having sex with the, you know, the right people in his mind.
Yeah.
That's all this is.
Yeah.
But I just think that he's, you know, the way he went about it was just wrong. And then, you know, broadcasting it made it even worse. That's you know, that's my anger right there.
Okay, so Ming, with that said, are you more angry that it's an adult, or would you feel the same way if it was a 14-year-old girl?
Well, I mean, I would hope that he's not coordinating a 14-year-old girl, and that is, I hope he's not like negotiating
Right,
that.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
hopefully, is his son just setting that up on his own, and kind of, and he's just allowing it to happen in his house,
right?
Versus, you know what I mean, like hand picking this person for it. I mean, yeah. But again, in the situation, as long as he's allowing his son to kind of, he's not involved with, as a parent, with finding a 14-year-old girl for his son to do that with. I think as long as the two things are separate, it makes a difference. And I mean, yeah, I would much rather him allow his son to do that. And if it came to him and maybe had questions and stuff like that, cool. You know what I'm saying? Let him make experiences on his own. But yeah, I guess I would rather that part of it than him going and seeing a grown woman to do that.
And you agree, you feel the same way, I assume, by your earlier comments.
I don't think he should be involved at all. At least the most he should be doing is giving his son the tools on the trade, so to speak, and leaving it to his son to decide how to use those tools that he's received.
Yeah.
That should be it. The father shouldn't be facilitating none of that. If he wants to create a safe haven and say, listen, if you're gonna go out and do this, that, and the third, I'm allowing you to do it here in the crib,
right?
Safe, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But that should be it. There should be no facilitating none of that stuff.
Yeah.
So let me talk about my childhood, and then I want this to resonate with y'all who may have had the same type of childhood, right? So at 12, I was given keys to the house, right? My mother put them on a shoestring and wrapped them around my neck and said, you know, you've shown the kind of maturity level where I think you can have a key to the house, right? I said, cool, that's dope. I'm happy because I'm ready for this and I can do it, right? And my mother went to the door and she showed me how to unlock the door. She said, listen, this is how you unlock it. This is how you lock it. Make sure you close the screen. You know, so we went through a tutorial about it, right? All with the understanding that I showed the level of maturity in which to embark on this process. The next week when I lost that key, right, she quickly determined that I didn't have the maturity level to entertain this kind of conversation, right? At 13, she said, hey, as a chore, because you've shown the maturity level that you can handle this, I want you to start doing the dishes when you come home from school. We all had the same kind of experience, right? When you do the dishes when you come home from school, you make sure they're straight before mom's comes in. Okay. The next week, when I broke two of her favorite plates and I lost a cup and left one in the living room, she said, Charles, knock it off. You're not doing this anymore either because you haven't shown the maturity level to do this. So okay, I understand, right? The trash was 14, right? And I tried the trash, right? Take the trash out, put the can here, get the trash. Ma, I got it, I can handle it. I'm mature enough to handle it. When I failed, Charles, cut the shit. You're not taking the trash out anymore either, right? So what I grew up understanding was that things were assigned to me based on my maturity level from someone as an authority figure who looked at me and said, you are mature enough to handle this, right? That's how we end up learning. Those dishes, the trash can, those same principles I tried to be taught early are some of the principles that I carry on now as an adult, right? So I learned a little bit, learned through the failure. Now as an adult, I get to understand it. Cool, keep that in the back of your head, right? So what we're talking about here with Boosie, right, is Boosie has determined, say, hey, listen, son, we're gonna sit down, we're gonna teach you how to put on a condom, right? Whether the age is 10, whether the age is 17, as the authority figure, spoke to the child and said, this is what you're going to learn, because this is something that you're going to need to know as an adult. The child said, yeah, I'm ready for it. Just like I said with that trash can, right? Okay. So then, as a way to finish that lesson, right, Boosie says, okay, now's your time to do it in real life, right? Now it's trash day. You dig? Take the trash out to the street. This is no different to me than a child learning a life lesson early based on the adult measuring and gauging that child's maturity level and then going from there. I don't see this as any different. The fault here that Boosie has walked into is that, hey, he's got an well, so there's a couple faults. One of the main faults is social media is involved, right? That's the main fault, right? You can't tell the public, right? Just like you couldn't tell the public that your 12-year-old was home with a key. That's a fact. It's an absolute fact, right? Because we know that in Massachusetts, there are child endangerment laws, right? Which say that you can't leave a kid at home by themselves. So, a lot of us were breaking the law by being home by ourselves while mom was at work. Okay. But mom gauged that maturity level. We're trusting here at Boosie as the parent is gauging that child's maturity level and measuring that out. I don't see what the difference is. It's much better with parental guidance and parental, not supervision, because that's pushing it, right? But parental guidance, saying this is what you're supposed to do. And then, rather than the kid going out and fucking some chick in the street, doing it wrong, getting her pregnant, now you got getting an STD, now you got a whole bunch of different other things that could have been kind of mitigated with parental guidance.
Question, is Boosie even mature enough himself to sit there and, train a 12-year-old kid? Is he even mature enough himself? He can't even use social media correctly.
And two different things, has nothing to do with his parenting skills. I mean, again,
his parenting skills show that he's not mature enough.
Why? The biggest thing we can ignore, he just is extremely outspoken, and you have people like that sometimes
immature people
filter. It has nothing to do with maturity. I don't think it has nothing to do with maturity.
For the child or for the adult?
No, I'm saying for him. I'm saying speaking out like that doesn't mean that he's immature. It's just
I agree.
have a filter. That's all I'm saying.
He's online right now doing some dumb shit right now, right?
He probably is. I mean, listen, social media, everybody, it's not for everybody.
Social media is a drug. And once you get high on it, it's going to take you somewhere else.
It's not for everybody. But it doesn't mean that there's no merit to the things that he's doing. We just may not like the method in which he's carrying it out.
Correct.
Nah,
the message, you gotta trim it down. Look at the message.
But at certain age, like Charles went over the steps of when he had to learn certain things. At different ages, he had to do certain different jobs. But this right here, at 12 years old, this is something that you don't teach a 12-year-old to do.
What?
You tell him, you speak about certain things, but you don't put him out there to do these things at 12.
You don't know how Boosie was raised.
You prep him. You prep the kid. But when
So why is this not considered prep?
That's not prep. You're putting them right there on you're putting them on Main Street right now.
Yep.
That's not prepping.
It doesn't mean there was no conversation had. We're all just, it's all hypothetical for all of us at this point. Again, I think the biggest thing that the four of us have a problem with, and I mean maybe just one thing at least, is that it's put out there for it to be criticized in a social media manner. I mean, maybe, I don't know.
Nah, it's more than that.
I'm saying,
for me, it's more than that.
We can at least agree on that part, that we don't like that he put it out there for people to criticize it. Are you happy that he put it out there?
Oh, I mean, I'm with y'all on that, but there's more to it.
That's all I'm talking about. We can differentiate how we agree as far as the subject of what he did, but I think that's the biggest thing. I think everything else is subjective, because I mean, like, everyone parents different, and we don't know how he was parented, and if that was something that his father did with him, passed down, hereditary. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know that. So that this is just why I'm very subjective about. I don't like to how people parent their kids, because everybody's different.
I think at the end of the day, every parent, right? So this is why I disagree with you slightly, man. Every parent's job is to prepare their child for adulthood. Now, how you deem to do that is based on how you brought up, right? In Boosie's case, he's showing us how he's doing that, and I have no problem. I'm not going to step in and tell that man how to run his household, how to raise his children. That's how he was raised. That's what he seems is right. You know what I mean? I can't judge that.
Well, okay, so again, I always know the only double standard with that part is that Boosie is also out there critiquing how someone else is raising their kid as well. In the D-Wade situation, he's putting a hand as to how that man is choosing to parent his child and what he's choosing to allow. Right. So, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure Boosie's the best one to kind of speak up that when he's, again, doing the same thing that he's with a much deeper subject. And we're not even going to get into that. I'm sorry, I didn't even bring that subject up. That's
more exclusive content.
I just think this whole thing is, on something else. I think he just wants to make sure his sons are boys. That's all it is. That's it.
No problem.
He just wants to make sure his sons are boys, and that's why he's prepping them ahead of time, because he sees all the what he would call fuckery out here going on. That's it.
Yep.
That's the only reason why he's prepping them so ahead of time, because that's immoral right now at 12 years old.
His sons are older, I believe, now, and this has been going on.
Yeah, they're 14, but he's been doing this since,
this has been going on. This is not the first time that this has happened. This has been going on for a long time. And I mean, like, just, Bow Wow was a superstar at like 13 or something, and we know he was screwing older women.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Michael Jackson was a teen star, and we know for a fact that he was knocking down older women. You know what I'm saying?
Chris Cross. We can go down the list. You see what I'm saying? And again, this is why I started the episode out by saying there were some things in the 90s we just knew to be true. We just knew to be self-evident. You see what I'm saying? And there was no problem with it. That's how life was. But now, all of a sudden, in social media, it seems like there's a villain for every story. We were okay with this shit in '96. Why is it any different? I don't know. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things that I'm not going to really wrap my head around. So what's the moral of the story? Let's go wrap around. We'll do a moral of the story. What got here, Sammy? So what's your takeaway from this topic?
Excuse me?
What's your takeaway from this topic?
My takeaway? I don't have one. I'm man. Listen, I pass. I'm done with this.
Man, what's your takeaway, brother?
I'm off this.
My takeaway is that everything is absolutely positively not for social media.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? How you parent and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Again, when you put certain stuff out there, you open yourself up to all kinds of criticism. And when you're, in his case, when you're out here critiquing other people for how they parent their kid, then when you're setting that kind of example, you're really looking bad. You know what I mean? Like I said, I understand the message and what you're trying to do, but your delivery, yeah.
My takeaway is going to be this. It's every parent has the absolute right to raise their child how they see fit and how they were raised. However, you also have to know that when you do that and when you go public with that, there will be repercussions for you going public with it. And that's the light that's being shined on him right now. So salute for you for standing by your standards and raising a child the way you want to. No problem with that. Just open your arms up and collect all that feedback because it's going to come to you.
Word.
Hightower, get us out of here with your feedback, brother.
Boosie's nasty, man. Period.
Exactly.
Period. I can't even. This was just nasty.
Simple enough. Yo, Sparring Minds, exclusive
Despicable.
content. Boosie, another topic in the books. Y'all stay tuned to Facebook, stay tuned to YouTube, stay tuned to SoundCloud, stay tuned to iTunes. We're going to flood every media avenue out there. Sparring Minds, we ain't going nowhere. Fellas, I'll holler at y'all.
Sparring Minds. Have a good night, y'all.
Peace.